we started last year. Last year was it February? And the idea here is also to bring teachers together online, in addition to the live staff academies we have twice a year somewhere. Now it's in Greece next month. And we have heard all kinds of pedagogical innovations. It has really been interesting. And Magdalena, if you want to watch the previous webinars, you can find them on the INGENIUM pages online. And today, the topic actually is support offered to teachers when it comes to pedagogical innovations and also digital learning and learning design. So I will first be talking about student-centered learning design and also introduce the pedagogical training process we offer to our teachers. And my job there is to discuss and talk about learning design. So I will explain the principles we use for designing student-centered and learner-centered designs, course designs. And then Hanna, Vartio, and Karita Tammelin, they will explain some more and give other examples of supporting the digital pedagogical competence of our teachers. So first of all, what kind of pedagogical support do we offer our teachers? And then some ideas of student-centered learning design as sort of like the foundation of the pedagogical training our teachers can choose. So our teachers have an opportunity to join a pedagogical training group every autumn and every spring. And the whole process takes about 5-6 months and includes about 30 hours of teacher work. And you can go through the whole process or take your pick of the topics that particularly interest you. And the themes and topics included in the training are, first of all, we always start with learning design and pedagogical scripting. That is designing the entire learning process for the student, thinking about the teacher along the way. Also, of course, one topic is student guidance, feedback, and interaction. We also pay attention to accessibility of learning environments and learning materials. There is something on gamification, assessment, which is a challenge now and will be more of a challenge even in the future because of the hugely fast development of artificial intelligence. And also the teachers have a possibility to produce open education learning material, open for everybody. So if we go back to the training process, the starting point is always the teacher's own work and something they want to develop in their work. And it doesn't have to be anything large. For example, an entire 5-credit course. It can be something smaller, like making videos, teaching videos, adding some interactive exercises for students, and innovating, activating tasks, and new ways of assessing students. And during the whole process, the teacher is supported by peers, by colleagues, by pedagogical mentors assigned for each teacher. So we have a group of pedagogical mentors who are all teachers, colleagues that are more into learning design and online learning. And their job is to help colleagues and help the whole work community to innovate and improve their teaching. And then, of course, the specialists we have in the eCampus unit are always there to help. So the main aims of the training are, first of all, to maintain and improve the quality of teaching. An important part also is cooperation and discussion with colleagues. And usually in the feedback, you can read that teachers find this a very, very important and valuable part of the whole process, so they can share ideas and thoughts and innovations with other teachers. Experimentation is encouraged because experimentation encourages new innovation. And of course, the teachers also learn about the array of digital tools and environments we have available, as well as the different support services that are always there to help them. So this is now the description of the whole process. So it all starts with the teacher's own project, emerging from practical teaching work. A spelling error there, I can see. So it can be an automated course. It can be assessment methods, how to create student interaction, and how to use our learning environment more efficiently. We have Moodle-based learning environment. And then you can think about and innovate how to do something together with the world of work, of course. And then the teachers have several weeks to work on their own project with the help of the mentor and with the help of the eCampus staff. So they develop and refine and define their project. And during this process, there are group meetings online, and the mentors are there, peer discussions, and eCampus also offers optional webinars on different topics. And then a very important part of the process is the end, where all the teachers share their innovations. They share their experiences, what's a good idea and what you shouldn't do, really. And we have, for example, digital coffee breaks, are they called, where you can go and present your innovation to other teachers. Reflection on what you did and what you can do better and what you should do next. Okay. So next, shortly about student-centered learning design, which is really the fundamental basic idea in our learning design practices. As you know, good learning requires an active student, and very often we have two major challenges, especially in digital learning design. And the first is how to activate the students, and the second is how to encourage genuine interaction, real interaction with the teacher and between the students. For activating the students, you can use teaching methods and, of course, different technologies within the learning environment or other free programs available online. For example, in Moodle, There is a wide variety of different tools for making exercises and games and quizzes and tests, different kinds of interactive videos, and much more. And if you use the free technologies online, there is always the possibility that they may suddenly disappear or start charging you money. If you think about learning design and student-centered learning design, there's a shift in the paradigm. Instead of focusing on the content, the teacher, and the teaching, we shift focus to the user, the student, the learner, and the learning. And this is a basic chart on the design process. And it starts with understanding the target group. And if we think about learner-centered, student-centered design, this is very important. So you start with the target group and create the concept, I would say the plot that will finally bring the student to the objectives set. And after that, you formulate the actual manuscript of the learning process and finally build the learning environment where you consider the physical and the social and the mental environments. So the physical means the technologies, social, for example, possibilities for interaction. And the mental means that you try to ensure the student's psychological safety by, for example, enough support from the teacher and also from the group. And of course, after you have implemented the course, it's time to reflect and improve. And again, if you think about what student-centered means, often when we design our courses, we think about the average student and very easily forget how heterogeneous our groups often are in the end. So in student-centered design, we try to consider all the different types of learners and take their needs into consideration as far as possible. Of course, you can't cater for all individual needs. And then you have to remember, as a teacher, that also the students' overall ability to study includes much more than just their learning skills. And students, they do not live their lives outside the classroom, but they bring with them, of course, their cognitive skills, but also their personal resources at that very moment, their varying study skills and varying motivations also. In student-centered design, understanding the students is important. And one way of analyzing the group is to create learner personas. And this comes from service design, where they analyze their clients and customers very carefully before designing services. So why not use it also in learning design? I have imaginary student profiles here, but they could very well sit in my classroom. And the main point here is that you think about the ways in your manuscript to make learning easier for these different personas. If you think about Juuso, for example, he's dyslexic and he might benefit from learning materials produced with different media. So in addition to text material, you may use videos and, for example, podcasts. Also, the outcome, what the student produces of a learning assignment, that could be a video or a podcast or an infograph maybe, instead of a written report. He is also used to teacher-led teaching methods. And if you want to use a new, let's say, activating method like flipping a classroom, it might be a very good idea to first introduce the method and explain why it is useful for learning. Annie in the middle, she learns best by doing, and she might benefit from different activating quizzes and tests and exercises. And also instead of one large assignment, she might learn better by doing several smaller ones. And then finally, we have Jana, and she clearly has time management issues. And on the other hand, she has a very long work experience. So when designing the learning process, there might be some course content that Jana already knows. So maybe she could only demonstrate her skills and knowledge. This is one example of one of my courses where my idea was to create, in a way, a framework, and the students then produced the contents into the framework. So here you have two screenshots from a course that was called Advanced Professional English. And my idea was to attempt to create individual student-centered learning paths. And the course, therefore, is more of a framework for content the students produce. These students are blended learning students, and the majority of them work full time. So they typically have a lot of work experience as well. There are 5 modules and an assignment for the students for each. And all the assignments are based on the students' work or their studies if they are, for example, doing their thesis at the moment. So they prepare something, and after that we have a live class. So this is also flipped classroom. So in module 1, they write an introduction to their work, an organization, and then in class they share and compare with their student colleagues. In module 2, they have a research article to be found and studied. And they, first of all, summarize the article in a written summary. And then they come to class to share and to discuss. In modules 3 and 5, they're working on the case. And all the cases are different because it's something that needs to be developed in the student's work. It can be, for example, a presentation of the organization or some sort of client instruction or anything that is useful to themselves and their work community. And finally, they present the cases in the final seminar. And there was the module number 4 in between. And there, the assignment is to follow a network, a professional network. For example, in social media or a set of webinars, just to see what the talk of the town in that profession at that moment is. And finally, they make a summary of what they learned from the professional networks. And in this course, the teacher's job is to support, to encourage, to facilitate, and give lots and lots of feedback. So feedback is one of the key characteristics of this course. Okay, I had something on scripting in practice. Maybe I will just quickly show you some examples of pedagogical manuscript. So learning design, or let's say scripting, is one part of learning design. So learning design thinks learning more widely than just scripting. Scripting is the concrete plan you make for the learning path, for all the assignments and assessment and what the student does, etc. And you don't always have to make a manuscript for your courses if you're starting something new. It's really good for yourself, for your own thinking, to make a manuscript. And when you have a clear manuscript, it's also easier to present the course to the students so that the students know exactly what they are supposed to do at what stage. And for me, the most important thing in drawing up a manuscript, that it makes it very clear for myself what is aimed at and how we get there. Because scripting makes everything visible, and it's also easy to share your plan with the students. During the process, you will thoroughly think through everything, the materials, what is necessary, what is essential, what is just good to know for the students. You think about the assignments, you think about your own support when you give feedback, when you assess, and when you are making the manuscript, don't forget yourself. It's important to think about your own schedule and workload, because very easily we do all the assessments within 1 month in the end of the term, and that's really, really stressful, as we all know. So when thinking about assessment, why not use formative assessment instead of summative, which also distributes the load better for you as a teacher. So these are the basic steps in making a manuscript. You start by setting the learning goals, if you don't have them already. And if you use a module structure, also for each module, so that the students know all the time what is expected of them. The goals then, of course, define the contents, the materials, and the sources. And then you think about the students. What do they do? How do you encourage good learning? How do they work? With whom do they work? What is a good learning assignment like? And then it's time to think about yourself. So what are the methods you want to use? How do you support learning? When do you give feedback? When do you give assessments? And the last step is to choose the technology that best supports your design. So you don't start with the technology, you end with the technology. And then I just have some examples of what a manuscript might look like. I think there is not only the one right way of doing it, because many of us visualize things differently. And therefore, on the next pages, I will give you quick examples of different kinds of manuscripts with the message that the most important is that it's clear to yourself and clear to your students. So the first one is just a simple form, including the goals, the topics, what the student does, what the teacher does, and then also the technology, assessment, and time management. The second one has a flow chart structure. And on this page, different formats. I also use different kinds of technologies and different way of creating the manuscript, I think almost every time. These pictures are actually from the Carpe Diem design method by Gilly Salmon. And in that method, they use post-it notes, sticky notes, and they also work very well because you can easily manipulate them and change the order and use different colors for materials and assignments and assessment, etc. So Gilly Salmon, if you want to know more. You can do this the same here digitally. This storyboard was made on Jamboard, Google Jamboard. I really liked it, but unfortunately, they closed it at the end of last year. But there are similar programs. Nowadays, I use Padlet Sandbox, and you can also use MS Whiteboard or Miro, for example, for scripting. Okay, so that was a quick look at student-centered design, scripting, and also the pedagogical training for our teachers. And now we have some time if you have any comments or questions. Okay, then I will give the floor to Hanna and Karita.
Thank you, Tiina. So I share my PowerPoint here. So, hi everyone, nice to meet you all. I am Karita Tammelin and I am working as an e-learning coordinator at Xamk. And I have also my colleague with me, coordinator Hanna Vartio. And we come from the eCampus services team, which offers supporting services and staff education related to e-learning. In our presentation, we will tell you about some of our annual practices to support teachers' e-learning skills. And we have different kinds of webinars, materials, and coaching for teachers, like Tiina mentioned before. But now we will present a few annual practices. We will tell you about the week of events organized by our team, which offers a wide range of opportunities that support teachers in developing their digital pedagogical skills and share their experiences with colleagues. We will also talk about the seminar that takes place during the event week and which aims to showcase trends in digital pedagogy and reward successful online implementations. At first, a few words about the Team Week. The aim of the week is to offer ideas and support for updating and developing courses for next autumn. The Team Week is arranged every year in spring semester. The week offers a wide range of opportunities that support teachers in developing their digital pedagogical skills and share their experiences with colleagues. Hanna will tell you more about this theme week later. The week begins with Monday's Digipeda seminar, and now I tell you a bit more about it. So, Digipeda is online seminar and it will held at the beginning of the theme week. The seminar focuses on good practices and trends in digital education. The seminar is open and free to all staff and partners of Xamk. And in previous years, the seminar has focused on topics such as AI in education and online interaction. And the topic changes every year. The seminar has speakers from both outside and inside Xamk, and here is an example of the program of the seminar. This is from the last year's seminar. And then the DigiOpe Award. DigiOpe Award is an internal prize at Xamk, and it is awarded each year in connection with the Digipeda seminar. The prize is awarded to a teacher, a group of teachers, the online implementation of a course, or the creative use of online tools. The prize has been awarded since 2012. The goal of this internal recognition award is to highlight and share good practices of online teaching and promote the improvement of the quality of online education. Nominations for the award can be made by Xamk students and staff, and the voting is open in online at the end of the spring and autumn semesters. The DigiOpe jury decides on the award-winning implementation, and the jury is a group of digital learning experts with members from both Xamk and beyond. And the DigiOpe jury will pay particular attention to guidance and information, structure, supportive and innovative use of tools and methods, and diversity of content and accessibility. So there was something about DigiOpe Award and Digipeda seminar, and now Hanna will tell you more about the theme week.
Thank you, Karita. So I have only this one slide. You can watch it and learn some Finnish. So let's talk about eCampus services. Webinar week for improving courses for autumn. That is arranged by eCampus services. I'll shorten this name because it was total Finglish. So let's talk about event week. So this is a picture of the poster for this year's week. It gives you a quick overview of the week's content. The week is held usually every May and lasts from Tuesday to Friday with optional webinars. The entire week is hosted by me and in a way branded as a recognizable event. And if I remember correctly, the first themed week was held at least in 2017. So this year would mark the 9th edition of the event. And I think 2019 was the first one online. So earlier they took place live in campuses. These webinars focus on teaching and learning in digital learning environments, and they aim to improve the quality of experiences for both teachers and students when planning and carrying out study modules and courses. The webinars feature lectures on various practices, include instruction on the use of new digital tools, and offer participation in hands-on workshops. And this week themes include 3 things. First, ideas and inspiration, exchange of thoughts and reflection, and hands-on activities in workshops. This year's topics under these themes include, for example, gamification and game-based pedagogy, different ways to subtitle videos, translating with AI, best practices for co-teaching, multicultural and international and online teaching, accessibility of e-resources at the library, Moodle's new update, unified element template in Moodle, supporting student group togetherness during a course, and many more. 20 webinars totally in 4 days. During the week, a collaboration will also take place with other units in Xamk or sometimes in different universities, with experts participating, for example, from the library services. And special education teachers and the study psychologists will also take part in the week. Each session lasts approximately 1 hour. The event will be promoted through Xamk's various channels. And at the end of the week, a feedback survey will be sent to participants, and the results will be used to guide future training sessions in the autumn and to develop the next spring's themed week. A great deal of work goes into preparing this week, starting early in the year. It culminates in a major effort by the eCampus team, an event that is now eagerly anticipated as May approaches. Thank you for listening. This was my part. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Hanna. If you don't have any more questions, these are now the presentations for today. And our next webinar will be on, correct me if I'm wrong, the 6th of May. And a presentation on digital pedagogy. And Karita, what was the other one? Do you remember?
1 second. The second one was about group coaching and team spirit among students.
Okay. So very interesting, I'm sure, inspiring pedagogical topics. We hope to see you there as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.